like a typical sunny character with a bright smiling face surrounded by rays. This is an image of friendliness and positivity, seemingly incapable of causing any harm. However, everything changes when a shadow appears on the horizon and the sunbeams begin to take on a different form. One night, when everything around was dark, Mr. Sun decided to emerge from behind the horizon in his usual bright rays. But suddenly, his smile began to distort and his eyes turned red. At that moment, the ground beneath people's feet trembled and Mr. Sun was no longer a friend, but something much more sinister.
Hey, I'm Mr. Sun, and here come my creepiest phases. If you love me as much as I love you, hit like, not scared of my scary transformations, then subscribe and I'll keep you on edge.
In the second phase, Mr. Sun completely transformed. His face no longer smiles, and where his bright eyes once were, there is now a single enormous black eye surrounded by an ominous glow. This gaze leaves no doubt that he no longer brings joy, but instead lures as something ready to consume. One night, his eye began to follow a traveler who, lost in the desert, was searching for his way home. But every step he took seemed harder, and when he turned around, he saw Mr. Sun's eye watching him in the darkness, filling his heart with dread. In the third phase, Mr. Sun becomes a true embodiment of horror. His face is now entirely hidden in darkness, with only a single enormous eye visible, gleaming in the night. This eye emits a terrifying silence, as though it can penetrate the soul of anyone who dares to look into it. A group of people, caught in his shadow, began to feel how their fears turned into reality. Each step they took seemed predicted by that eye. Unable to bear its gaze, they began to disappear, one by one, into the darkness, leaving only traces that vanished into the abyss. In the fourth phase, Mr. Sun transforms into a dark entity with no human traits or familiar signs of light. His rays disappear, and in their place, threatening thorn-like shapes emerge, while he remains with only a single eye, resembling an empty abyss. This eye, as though it itself is the source of darkness, penetrates the very essence of beings, causing them to tremble and lose their sanity. In an abandoned city, a group of explorers who dared to approach this evil began seeing how their reflections in dark windows were distorted, and each reflection moved closer until it vanished. The one who survived tells that Mr. Sun's eye never left them, even when they left the meeting place. In the fifth phase, Mr. Sun becomes the embodiment of ancient, all-consuming vengeance. His massive red sphere glows ominously, with countless eyes spinning around, creating a terrifying sense that they are watching every enemy. These eyes don't just see, they read minds, penetrating the darkest corners of the soul where the most horrifying secrets hide. His target is Black, the one who once dared to betray him and cast him into empty darkness. Now, with each passing phase, Mr. Sun finds new ways to exact his revenge, setting traps, luring Black into a world where reality and nightmare intertwine, and each step becomes more torturous. Just when Black thinks he has escaped, he suddenly faces the truth. His own fear becomes his greatest enemy, and with each gaze, Mr. Sun destroys what little remains of his sanity. Ready for a challenge? According to statistics, only 3% of viewers manage to like the video and subscribe to the channel before the timer runs out. Write a comment if you made it in time.
İşte bu gerçek.
In the
İşte
sixth
bu
phase,
gerçek.
Mr. Sun
Bu
takes on a
beşinci
form that
bölüm
resembles
kardeşim,
more a
bu
monster
beşinci
than a
bölüm.
being of light.
Ne
His
altısı
giant
abi?
eye is surrounded
Bu
by sharp
beşinci.
spikes, and his very
beşinci.
essence emits a crimson
Bu
glow,
beşinci.
which seems alive, eager to consume everything in its path.
Altıda bunun
In this
turuncu
nightmare,
hali
the
var,
Sprunky
turuncu hali
appear,
işte.
creatures who have lost their light and now wander in the shadows. They understand that this gaze might give them what they have longed for, a spark of light, friendship, support. Yet, despite their desire to connect with Mr. Sun, the darkness he is soaked in shatters all attempts, and in the end, they realize there is no friendship in his abyss.
Oha 5 şarkı olmuş bile. Böyle şeyler işte. Uy bak bu da işte ve 6. bu. 7.
In the seventh phase, Mr. Sun becomes an entity that no longer knows peace. He wanders in search of friendship, hoping to find someone who will accept him as he is. But his form and gaze are too terrifying. The giant eye surrounded by spikes and the frightening crimson glow repel all living creatures. He tries to approach different beings, hoping to find understanding. But each time they flee, scared of the power and abyss he carries. Mr. Sun realizes that the darkness now within him makes it impossible to be part of something greater, and friendship no longer exists for him.
Çok teşekkür. Başı da böyle işte. Ben 8 aydan 8'e değil ki 8 böyle değil.
In the eighth phase, Mr. Sun transforms into the embodiment of pain and despair, his eye now surrounded by blood-red cracks from which a dark substance pours. He no longer wanders in search of friendship, but becomes a monster that devours all life in its path. One day, in the desert, he encountered a man named Kale, whose final gaze was filled with fear and regret. Mr. Sun was not interested in his suffering. He only wanted to experience how human will would crumble under his gaze. When Kale met his eyes for the last time, his mind shattered and his body became part of the darkness that engulfed him. Mr. Sun realized that his life was now only filled with destruction, and he could no longer stop.
İşte bu 9 işte doğru 9.
In the ninth phase, Mr. Sun faces the unimaginable, a world where his gaze has no power. He meets a strange creature with an eye that bends his rays into sharp spikes, tearing apart space itself. With every movement, this world shifts, devouring everything around it, including Mr. Sun himself. He attempts to consume this creature, but instead, his rays break apart and the space begins to seize his mind. And then he realizes he is nothing more than a tool in this world's hands, and the only thing left is to vanish into its dark corners.
İşte böyle. Mis gibi şarkı. Temiz temiz. Evet, bu da
In the 10th phase, Mr. Sun encounters a being that devours everything light, turning the space around into pure darkness. His rays grow weaker, and the ominous teeth on the creature's body tear apart everything he sends in return. Instead of a battle, Mr. Sun is sucked into a dark vortex where his powers fail. The creature does not attack, it simply consumes. The moment the space starts vanishing, Mr. Sun becomes part of the void. At one point, as the world plunges into the abyss, Mr. Sun transforms into something that never existed. His eye no longer gazes. It consumes the very essence of time, leaving everything in void. Beings that once lived in his shadow begin to vanish, dissolving into darkness without a trace. But among them, one appears, a creature impervious to destruction. It plunges into the heart of this cosmic vacuum, attempting to awaken light. But Mr. Sun, with his new face, possesses its body, absorbing its essence, and becomes everything, light, shadow, and void. The world he left behind vanishes, and in its place only endless darkness remains. In the 12th phase, Mr. Sun stops being just a force of destruction. He begins to experience a hunger he cannot satisfy. His eye, now surrounded by fiery rings, devours all the celestial bodies around him, burning the very space he inhabits. In this empty cosmos, he encounters another being that isn't afraid of him, a brilliantly glowing entity capable of generating light. But it turns out to be nothing more than an empty shell. With each of his gazes, the being starts to fade and vanish. But at that moment, Mr. Sun realizes that he no longer craves light. He wants to consume the entity itself.